In your book, Paul, you talk in a chapter about the missing piece of the jigsaw for accountants, which is very intriguing. Do you want to tell us what that is?
Yeah, it's all about sharing your knowledge and expertise. People try to keep their knowledge locked away because they want to charge for it. But I mean, at the end of the day, you could give them all the knowledge in the world, they're still not going to go and prepare their company accounts and submit them to HMRC. So it's all about doing that. People try to sell far too early. They're trying to sell their service, come on our retainer or package, however they're doing it, rather than giving information. And people will, once they've got enough information, then people will make that buying decision.
Brilliant. And there's a couple of reports you talked about and how they work in your book, and I'll ask you about them because they're very intriguing to me. One of them was 20 things your accountant should be doing but probably isn't. Quite a provocative title. So how would a report like that work for an accountant? Yeah,
well, traditionally people would say something like, why wear the best? Why wear the accountant you should choose? But it's just another way of saying that. So it's another way of sort of saying, well, this is what your previous accountant's doing wrong. And we know all these pitfalls. That's why you should come to us, if you like. So these sort of things are fantastic, and there's a few more in there,
Another one which I was very intrigued by was the 10 best tax-saving tactics for company directors. Now, how would that work? And is there a danger that you're giving away your best secrets, if you will, either to your competition or to the customer? How does that work?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just positioning you as the expert. So it's a very sort of catchy title. It's going to get people to click on it and find out more about it, download it, however you're going to put it out there. I mean, it could be a download that people have to give you some details back, an email address. It could be something that you put out there on your email to people once they're subscribed to your prospects or something like that. And again, it's just positioning you as the expert. It's saying that you really do know what you're talking about. And there is always that fear. People have that fear that they're going to give away their best secrets and things like that to their competitors. Their competitors should probably know these anyway. They're just not using them right. So I would never have a fear of sort of giving away information like that, because it's just positioning you as the expert, and that's exactly what it does in the eyes of the client.
So it's almost a way of proving you know what you're talking about, because you almost believe the accountant can do a set of accounts and all the rest of it, but it's kind of taking it to that kind of next level.
Yes.
There's one something you mentioned in the book which I'm very familiar with, which is accountants saying we're proactive. It's almost become a buzzword in the industry. And you say that if everybody says we're proactive, if every accountant in Newcastle says they're proactive, it doesn't mean anything. And you come up with an idea which is sort of 10 strategies for growing your profits, improving cash flow and cutting costs. So coming up with information like that. How does that work, and how would you share that information, and how does that make you look proactive?
Yeah, I mean, obviously you can say you're proactive all you want, but you've got to prove it, haven't you? So giving people information like that, it's just proving that you are proactive and that you're looking to, you are different to the competitors who are just going to file their accounts every year. And in terms of sharing it, there's various mediums. Obviously, you can share it on your website, you can share it on your newsletter that we've already talked about, but there's so many other different platforms on the internet. You can share it in article marketing platforms, so you can publish it in an article and pass that out, and that gets redistributed. And the main thing about it is it gets distributed by people who like it, so they will share it for you, and they'll pass the message around, and it's all coming back to you and your practice and positioning them as experts. But there's a lot of techniques, blogging. You can have various other things like that to push out these sort of articles.
So really, if I'm getting it right, the missing piece in the jigsaw for accountants is that you've got to prove you're different, and you've got to prove that you're an expert, not just say you are.
That's right.
And these are the ways that you do it. You mentioned stuff there, which is blogging and article marketing. What are they? What? I know what a blog is, but what does that mean?
Yeah, it's basically just about sort of publishing your information, getting it out there, spreading the message, if you like, and letting as many people know as you can that you are the experts, without just saying we are the experts. So you're putting it out there, and you're actually proving it as well at the same time. And it's a way of standing out. It's a way of being different. There's not that many accountants that have blogs, and then a lot of them probably fear the blog I would imagine. But you know, that's the sort of thing. It separates them from the crowd. Publishing articles, publishing industry white papers and things like that. They're all sort of key in positioning yourself as an expert.
Now, a lot of accountants will be very comfortable with the numbers.
Yeah.
But when it comes to writing blogs and articles and sharing your expertise, whilst they've got the information and they've got the expertise that they've honed over many years, translating that into reports and videos and this other stuff that you're talking about sounds difficult.
Yeah.
How do they go about doing that? Is that about using somebody such as yourself, or is it doing it themselves? Because for a lot of people, that sounds a daunting and time-consuming task.
Very time-consuming, yeah. I mean, that's probably the main issue they've got. Like you say, they've got the knowledge, they've got the experience, they've been doing it for a long, long time. But it is time-consuming to sit there and write and come up and create articles or blogs that are going to get people to take action, and they're going to transform that "we are the best" to something like the top 10 tips. So yeah, I mean, content writers is the way to go. Getting it created by sort of professional copywriters would definitely be the way to go on that. And that's sort of what we would advise anyone to do.
And really, whilst you're saying it's a missing piece in the jigsaw for accountants, and I can see how kind of smart the strategy is, to some extent it's simplistic because it's just doing what accountants do anyway. They're experts, and it's already up here, and we're making it harder than we need to. Is that right?
Yeah, without doubt, yeah. I mean, you've got the knowledge, if you like, but it's just locked in there, and traditionally people have kept it very secret. And it's an informational society now, and it's the internet is taken over, and you should just share that information, and it positions you as an expert. It comes back to reap the rewards.
Really, when you look at it, it makes perfect sense, doesn't it? You're sharing your expertise, and somebody wants to be accountant who's the expert and not. But I mean, there is that fear, isn't there, in the time? So, but yeah, that makes sense. Thank you, Paul.
Excellent.